大家好，我是 Duke 负责Google 的广告变现业务。平时追中国的流行是我一年当中最开心的时间。今年虽然不能成行，我仍然很高兴能够通过这种方式与大家见面，谈谈 Google 在游戏方面的最新进展。下面我会讲英语，请大家包涵。So, let's talk about the gaming industry and how it's doing compared with last year when I was here. We've seen gaming have a huge growth since the COVID-19 pandemic. Between February and April this year, searches for best online game, they're up over 100% this year compared to the same time last year. This shows people are searching for and trying out new titles. And the way we're working is changing too. People have really had to adjust to working from home and new ways of doing business. And it's a lot to juggle. That's why we've been working on new features that make it even easier for you to improve your ads performance with much less effort. So first, I'm going to show you how AdMob's newest tools can help you earn even more for your business through a more streamlined setup in one unified auction. Then David is going to share with you how Ad's new bidding and creative management tools will put machine learning to work for you to improve your UA campaigns automatically. Now we know as game developers, your focus is on building great, fun games for people to play. And people love playing your games. Google Play sees over 1.4 trillion minutes spent playing mobile games every month. But to build a great business around your game, you need sustainable revenue streams. So even with all that time spent playing, 96% of players are never going to make a purchase. So other revenue streams like ads are an important part of your game's monetization strategy. Now, I was recently talking to one of our partners who had started using ads to supplement their in-app purchases. And they were excited about the additional revenue, but they wanted to know, is there more that I could be doing? And we talked about how putting ads is a great start. How you implement them, that can really be key to your success. And we know that building these ads monetization setups, that can be tricky. And that's why our latest AdMob advancements, they'll help you get set up easily to improve your performance. So it's what we found with ads is this long-term performance, it really hinges on the positive user experience. And that starts with choosing the best formats for your app and what makes the most sense. We give you plenty of formats to choose from: interstitials, banners, rewarded, and native. And last year at Think Games, we announced a new app open format, a full screen ad experience to monetize the loading screen for your app. Now, AdMob is the only place where this format is globally available and specially designed to integrate into your app seamlessly. And that provides a better user experience and higher revenue. And after several rounds of user testing over the last year, we made a few key updates. We standardized the branding for the publisher. We clarified the ad context and we simplified the tab targets. And these changes have helped to double the engagement with this format. And we're excited to add even more optimized demand over the next few months, including video, that will certainly improve performance even more. Now, all publishers right now can try this. It's in open beta and it's available in our front end. Okay. Now, we're not stopping there. Today, we're introducing another new format, rewarded interstitials. Now, we've heard from our partners that interstitial ads have great impression volume, but low engagement, and that means lower CPMs. On the other hand, we've heard rewarded ads have high CPMs with great engagement, but a lower impression volume. Now, what if you could have the best of both worlds? Rewarded interstitials do just that. Like traditional interstitial ads, it appears on the screen at ad breaks, such as at the end of a failed level or a normal transition between screens. But like rewarded ads, these players receive a reward for watching the full video. And the ad tells you in a clear message, you can watch to the end and receive a reward, or you can opt out and you can forfeit. Now, publishers have seen success using the rewarded ads, not just in games, but across a wide variety of different sectors as well, such as music or photo editing. But in this format is yet another way to incorporate rewarded ads and provide a way for players to easily continue their gameplay or to get boosts. So let's take a look at how one of our beta testers, Ilion, has used rewarded interstitials to grow their revenue. So after they added rewarded interstitials to their relaxing bubble shooter game, Aura Bubbles, they saw their rewarded revenue rise by 2.5 times and their ARPDAU went up by 80%. Now, this format incentivized users to watch the rewarded ads that led to more engagement and these amazing results. And rewarded interstitials, they will soon be available for you to test in beta. Now, once you decide on the right format for your game, you will need to implement it into your game. And we're making this even easier for game developers. And we know many of you are using the Unity tools to build your games. So we've always valued our partnership with developers using Unity. So we've recently upgraded our Unity plugin to make it even easier to monetize your games. Now with our new plugin, implementing an ad takes less than 5 minutes. Our new and improved plugin, it brings a cleaner, more intuitive way to set up ad units in your games. And so here's the code you needed to implement before this change. And here's what you need to implement now. Instead of all that code, you'll use our new Unity editor interface that will continue your ad placements and create ad game objects, and you can be up and running with a single line of code. Now, best of all, this new plugin is already in beta. You can find out the information on how to try it out in the Unity section of the AdMob developer site. Once you have your formats chosen and your ad units in place, how can you ensure that you're consistently getting the highest value for each impression? Now, this is where open bidding comes in. Open bidding lets all participating ad networks bid on each impression in real time in a single unified auction. And we're excited to announce that this fall, open bidding will be available to all developers as a beta. And we're proud to say that major partners shown here like App11 and Pubmatic and Facebook's Audience Network will be participating in our beta. Now, making open bidding have these demand sources all in one place. This is where the one place you'll see the most popular demand sources compete for your impression in real time. Now, traditional waterfall mediation, that uses historical CPMs to prioritize the sequence of how you call these networks. But there could be a huge difference between the average revenue from yesterday's impressions and how much this particular impression is worth today. Now, this historical optimization, it misses out on these real-time pricing changes, which means you could be missing out on real additional revenue. So with open bidding, all of these networks are now bidding in a fair real-time auction, and the winner is always the network paying the highest for that impression. That means you'll get the highest available revenue for that impression. So not only will open bidding drive your revenue higher, it'll also decrease the time you need to spend managing your monetization solutions. So with open bidding, everything's handled in one place. Many of our partners don't even require you to implement an SDK to add them to open bidding. And that cuts down on the number of SDKs you need to implement and manage. And now open bidding works with our tools like Mediation Test Suite. So streamlining your setup and testing so you can catch these early issues and launch these ad experiences very quickly for your users. Now, open bidding works alongside mediation. So as you move these more and more of these ad networks from mediation over to open bidding, you'll spend less time managing waterfalls, and you'll be able to see the performance for all of these networks in one report instead of having to search for data across a number of different dashboards. Now, one of our early testers from Korea, Cook Apps, they used open bidding to help grow their revenue in their match 3 puzzle game, Candy Blast. Now, after switching to open bidding, they saw a 26% increase in ad revenue and a 26% increase in CPMs compared to their waterfall mediation setup. And best of all, open bidding saves them time so they can focus on building great games and expanding their business. Now, in order to continue growing your business, you also need to be able to tie your revenue back to user acquisition campaigns. And to do this, you want to understand how each player in your game is contributing to your revenue. So lifetime value, or LTV, this is the measure of how much a player is worth, taking into account all of the revenue sources like ads, in-app purchases, and subscriptions. Now, historically, calculating how ads revenue impacts this player's LTV, it's involved a lot of estimation. And our new feature, impression level pingback, LTV pingback, that will provide you with real-time estimates of impression values. And knowing the value of every impression, that takes the guesswork out and gives you a much more granular measure of that user's LTV. And you can use these detailed insights that'll help you make better data-driven decisions for your user acquisition strategy. Now, I've just shared with you some of the new AdMob features that can make it even easier to set up and manage your ads in your game and to earn even more from every impression. Now, in addition to building sustainable revenue, We know that user acquisition is just critical to building a thriving games business. So I'm going to turn it over to David. He's going to show you how Google Ads can help you find more of the right players for your game.
Thanks, Duke. I'm David Mitby, and I lead product development for app campaigns and Google Ads. I'm excited to share with you how our latest bidding and creative features can help you find more of the right players across your game lifecycle. As Duke mentioned, we know that many of you need to do more with less as you adjust to global conditions. With limited time and resources, how do you successfully reach interested gamers at a global scale? Our technology can handle a lot of the heavy lifting for you so that you can focus on building great games. With app campaigns, you define the goals that are important to your business, whether that's installing the game or completing a specific action. Then Google's machine learning works to find you more players likely to take these actions across search, YouTube, Play, Discover, and the over 3 million sites and apps in our network. App campaigns can help you across the full life cycle of your game development, pre-launch, growth, and maturity. At each stage, your goals and strategy can and should adapt. One of our partners, Fun Plus, faced some common challenges across each of these stages. Let's see how our latest ad developments can help at each step. Even before your game is released, you can start thinking about ways to reach potential fans and build excitement for your game, so that when you launch, you already have a critical mass of players. Fun Plus wanted to get a head start on driving user momentum as they were planning to launch their action-adventure game, State of Survival. They took part in our beta for app campaigns for pre-registration to do just that. The pre-registration feature in Google Play allows players to sign up to receive an alert right when your game launches. Players can also choose to have your game automatically downloaded right as it launches, so they have immediate access to start playing. Last year at GDC, we announced pre-registration ads to help you find early adopters and encourage them to sign up in the Play Store. Fun Plus used app campaigns for pre-registration to drive 93,000 pre-registration signups in Google Play in just 9 days for State of Survival, giving them an audience that's geared up to play as soon as the game became available. We are excited to share that app campaigns for pre-registration will be available globally later this year. After you launch your game, you need to think about growing your users and your business. Fun Plus made this same shift in focus after the launch of State of Survival this past November. The first few weeks after launch can be an important moment to expand your player base. In fact, typically 50% of game installs happen within the first 2 months after launch. To boost your install volume even further, Maximize bidding, conversions bidding, is now available through app campaigns for installs. You just provide us your budget, and Google will help you get as many installs as possible across our network. Fun Plus used Maximize conversions bidding when they launched State of Survival. They were able to drive enough installs in the first week to reach number 1 in the US Play Store strategy games category. Finding a large player base early can help you boost your long-term success. But for that success to be sustainable, and most importantly, profitable, you need to think about the revenue you earn from your advertising budgets. As Duke explained earlier, understanding players' lifetime value helps you develop an efficient, data-driven user acquisition strategy. It makes sense that you would want to pay more for a player who might, say, spend $20 than for a player who might spend only $5. Analyzing data and making changes to your campaigns takes time and resources. That's where app campaigns can once again be helpful. You can now bid on a target return on ad spend, or TROAS, for each new acquired user. TROAS bidding lets you dynamically pay more for users who are likely to spend more, and pay less for users likely to spend less. Fun Plus used TROAS to drive growth and revenue for State of Survival. They found that paying users acquired through their test campaigns using ROAS spent 20% more than paying users from campaigns not using ROAS bidding. You can reach out to your account manager to get started with our ROAS bidding beta, and we're planning to roll out this feature to all advertisers later this year. No matter what bidding strategy you choose, it's important to invest in engaging ad creatives that appeal to a broad range of users. That's why we're making it easier to put your best creatives in front of potential players. Starting this month, we're updating our requirements for image assets to make your creative process simpler and more scalable. We are shifting from size-based to ratio-based image specifications. Instead of developing images in up to 30 sizes, you can soon provide images in just 3 simple ratios. We are also introducing an image cropper tool, so you can crop any image into one or more of the accepted ratios. These changes make it more efficient for you to scale your image ads across AMP campaign formats and properties. With the time and resources you can save with a simplified set of requirements, you can experiment with more creative styles and themes to find what really resonates with your players. Now we've covered how Google can help you with the pre-launch and growth phases of your lifecycle. In the final maturity phase, the key challenge is making sure your most valuable players continue playing your game. Fun Plus has a portfolio of several games, and they recognize that one of their biggest opportunities they had to maintain interest and growth for their older titles is to look at more than just finding new players. They started thinking about ways to get current players to come back, keep playing, and spend more. Last year, we announced a beta for our app campaigns for engagement to help players rediscover your game. With app campaigns for engagement, you can reconnect with players in many different ways. For example, you can introduce new features that have been added since a player's last session, or encourage lapsed users to come back by offering promotions on in-app purchases. You can also get someone to open the game for a first time on Android, which is something only Google can help with, or have returning players complete a tutorial so they can progress further in the game. Fun Plus tested app campaigns for engagement with one of their older games, King of Avalon. For this game, they wanted to bring back valuable players who had stopped playing. They found that app campaigns for engagement brought back almost 34% more high-value players than other strategies they had tried. You will be able to run app campaigns for engagement in Google Play starting later this month, and we will also roll out support for audiences through Google Analytics for Firebase. Then in late September, we will make app campaigns for engagement available globally. At the same time, we'll launch a set of improved audience management features in Google Ads so that you can more easily amplify your success with all the updates we've just talked about. Today, we've told you about new ways that you can easily boost your ads performance. Duke showed you how AdMob can help make setup faster and easier with codeless ad units in Unity and more formats to choose from, and how you can improve performance while saving time using open bidding and our new LTV pingback. And I just shared how our bidding strategies and creative updates can help you at each stage across the life cycle of your game, with pre-registration ads for pre-launch, maximize conversions, ROAS and image simplification for growth, and app campaigns for engagement for when your game reaches maturity. With these new tools, we hope you can find new growth opportunities for your business quickly and effectively. Thank you so much.